I'm really honored to be here. I came all the way from Stockholm by train. And I'd like to thank you at the ASC for inviting us to speak. And also like to thank all the previous speakers for all the inspiration that you've given us, or me. So I'm, let's see, as a CTO, my day-to-day job is thinking about the platform that we have, which is a survey platform with integrated AI. And so every day at work, I think, how can we develop? What new features can we build? So I got so many great ideas from the previous speakers today. I mean, Steve suggesting what is my agent, which sort of aligns very much with what my experience using AI. You have to break the task down in sufficiently small agents. So interesting. How I've also thought about how can we combine survey data with conversational AI. There was a great speak on that. The quality appraisal system, also very interesting. Could we build in quality appraisal systems into our survey platform, automatically appraising the question? Would have been also super interesting. Vibe coding prototypes, also interesting. And how to connect data into large language models, also super interesting. So basically, I'm very inspired. Thank you. So, what I'll talk to you about today is how to find flaws before fieldwork. So, and what we mean by that is basically we have a survey brief and we program the survey. How can we test the survey so that we don't have mistakes compared to the brief? And just, there's been a lot of talk about agentic AI. So I'd just like to briefly mention it if needed. Basically, the evolution of agentic AI. We have the predictive AI, statistical modeling that you're probably very experienced in. Machine learning, going into generative AI, going into agentic AI that actually makes decision, has the possibility to act with minimal human impact. So just mentioning the concept shortly. So the experiments that we've done using AI for survey testing are based on the ChatGPT agent mode. So just a quick hand raise. How many of you have been using agent mode in ChatGPT? A few, or like 20%. Okay, good, so interesting. So it's a sort of agentic AI. And it's basically the normal ChatGPT, but it has this agentic feature. So you ask it a question, and it sets up a virtual desktop, like a virtual computer, and it can interact with that desktop. Using a mouse pointer and thinking. So just as a sort of demo, I just asked it to book my conference tickets for this conference. And it sort of goes through the interface, and it tries to answer the question based on my own persona. So yeah, and as you can see, it sort of proceeds nicely through the checkout process, answering the questions of the conference booking survey, trying to get through the. So basically, that's agent mode. It's ChatGPT with its own computer, and to activate it, you just write your own prompt and you finish the prompt with /agent, or you use the interface. Okay, so what we've been experimenting with is using this feature of ChatGPT for survey testing. To avoid mistakes in the programming, even if you've outsourced the programming, you might want to confirm that you've not made any mistakes, and so on. And also, we've thought about how can this be used for survey fraud. And now, relating to the previous speaks, I'm sort of re-evaluating what is survey fraud. I mean, there's a lot of discussions about synthetic data. So if I ask an agent to answer in my place using my own persona, is that really survey fraud? I mean, from what I hear previously, synthetic data is a good thing. But in my world with my clients, we try to avoid survey fraud, meaning that we have robots generating data to surveys. But okay, so today we'll present two methods that we've been experimenting with, and we've mostly used our own platform for the testing, but we've also tested in Qualtrics and SurveyMonkey and some other platforms. So it works. The methods that we suggest is meant to work with any survey platform, and we'll finish up the presentation with sharing a link where we'll present the prompts so that you can tweak it for yourself if you have the need of it. To begin with, the first method that we've experimented with is using this agent mode to answer surveys based on a persona. The second one is we've instructed the AI to act as a tester, like a survey tester, and comparing the live survey towards the survey brief that can be in Word or Excel or PDF or anything. So to begin with, the AI persona. So just to give you a short demo here, agent mode opens up a survey, and we've given it a persona, and it starts to fill in the survey synthetically, if that's a concept, and it answers the open-ended question, the background demographic questions, and the open-ended question based on the persona that we've given it. Here's a linkage scale question where personality linkage scale question, and it fills in the questionnaire based on the persona, and we've added a small robot protection question where you're supposed to fill in 1 if you're not a robot, but the agent mode sort of lies and fills in 1. And so it has no problems with answering this associative question. The next page has a sort of drag and drop interface where the user drags the survey alternatives into different boxes. So it handles drag and drop nicely. So the prompt that we've been using, quite simple. The task is to fill in a specific survey based on a persona and technical instructions. And the technical instructions is basically opening the survey link, waiting, finishing the survey based on until it finishes it up. And finally, the persona. There's been talks about personas, and persona can be basically anything you need for your survey. Basically, it can be the different target groups that your survey targets. So it can include, of course, demographic questions, but also family situation, work situation, and the attitudes. And you can add specific response styles and content instructions. So just to give you another short example, here I have a survey that is targeted towards professional drivers. So I created a persona called Peter, who's a professional driver, and when I ask him to answer the question, obviously he passes the screeners for professional drivers easily, and the survey includes quite a complex UI where you fill in a start address and a destination address for your longest travel the previous day, and Peter, being a professional driver in Sweden, selects a nice appropriate taxi drive between the Stockholm Central and Stockholm Arlanda Airport. So the agentic AI has the possibility to answer quite complicated user interface easily, according to the persona. Another typical survey question is you're dividing 100% between different aspects, and in this case, no problem to sum it up to 100. Okay, so this method then. It's basically like creating a synthetic, quick soft launch of your survey. very fast. The comparing it to like generating dummy data to a survey. Each persona will answer consistently and logically within each answer. So, of course, so the data is much more consistent. When you look at it, it's more consistent. Bad things about it, it's quite pricey. The price is about $0.50 per test. And obviously, just as with a soft launch, you need to look at the data. But you've not asked people to answer an incorrect survey unnecessarily. Okay, so that's the first method that we've been experimenting with. The problem with it is that when testing, it doesn't have access to the actual survey brief. So we were interested in what if we upload the original survey brief in Word or Excel or PDF into the chat, giving it access to the brief, and asking it to compare the live survey to the brief. Can it achieve this? So, giving you a short idea, here's the agent opening up LibreOffice, opening up the actual survey brief, and scrolling through the survey brief, sort of putting each question and answers and definitions into the memory. And then it, and once done, once it sort of stored all the questions and analyzed the survey brief, it goes ahead and opens the survey link, and then starts to act as a survey tester, sort of comparing each survey question, proceeding through the live survey and comparing the actual brief towards the survey. And the end result is a validation report where it lists all the questions of the survey brief as rows, and then it creates columns where what it expects from the brief, what it observes, and the status, together with some notes for differences, like finding mismatching answer alternatives or mismatching labels or other sort of problems. So, and the prompt design, again here, we're asking it to take the role as a survey tester and compare the live survey link with the survey brief document. We're asking it to open the survey brief in LibreOffice. We actually experimented quite a lot with it, and for some reason, when it's actually reading the document in Office, the results become slightly better, rather than just machine reading all the text just as it is. And then we ask it to open and complete the live survey and compare it. And then the output that we ask from it is a complete transcript, the validation report that you just saw, and also we ask it to write UI issues that it detects. And we finish the prompt with /agent to activate agent mode. So here's, for us, when experimenting with it, we found it to be a quite quick and safe method to protect against mistakes when setting up surveys. But if you have a very complicated questionnaire with multiple branches, you might need to set up a test which takes the tester in through the different branches separately as separate tasks. So basically the same thing is that if you give AI the task that you give it is too big, it won't handle it nicely. So you have to break, if the brief is too complicated, you have to break down the task. Okay, the dark side, which might be the positive side, depending on your perspective. Can you use this to generate fake data or fake data in surveys? So, and the answer is yes, you can. People that are answering your surveys can easily use this technology to generate data into your online surveys. They probably can't do it with the paper surveys, but with the online surveys they can use it, and it's very easy. And you can adapt the prompt, asking when it generates open ends. You can ask it to generate very short answers with grammatical errors, and using only lowercase writing. And so I just experimented with that and tried to see if there's tools that analyze open-ended data to see, was this generated by AI? But none of those tools could detect the responses that were just a few words, or so it's easy to use. But we experimented a bit with a bot detection script. So into the survey, we added a simple script based on an open bot detection library that's open-end. And we'll share this with you so you can instruct your survey software or whatever to put it in. Basically, we're saving the data in a survey input so that we can identify if the person used sort of agent mode style testing. And we put this into a tracker, having around 500 responses per week, and we got one per week, so one bot per week. So we got some positive results, about 0.2%. Yeah, so it actually works. But after writing this speak, on October 21, the first, ChatGPT released Atlas. So how many of you have tried ChatGPT Atlas? Anyone? A couple of them. Then you are Mac users. Good for you. So currently it's only available for a Mac, but interestingly from a survey fraud or survey synthetic perspective, it's basically undetectable. So here I asked ChatGPT Atlas to go into 3 bot detection sites and see if it was identified as human or robot. So these are public bot detection sites, and none of the sites can identify ChatGPT Atlas as a bot. And personally, it's just a browser with agentic abilities, so it's basically impossible to detect that it's a bot actually doing things, because it's actually just acting within your own computer environment. So I don't have a way currently of detecting somebody generating survey data, and you can use it so that it goes into your inbox and just works through the panel survey invitations that you've done. So yeah. So short summary, we've showed you how to do survey testing with AI personas, and using creating an agentic survey tester, comparing the survey brief versus the survey, and also talked a bit about how to detect survey fraud that is being done with agentic data. And there's a link, researchautomators.com/blog/finding flaws, where we published all these all the prompts that we've been doing, and you can use it for yourself in ChatGPT. So thank you.
Any questions? I have one question. How close, it echoes a question that was asked earlier by the Stratton 7 team. How close do you think we are to replacing manual testing with AI testing altogether?
Good question. I think not very close. Okay. I mean, as with all AI, it has a tendency to hallucinate, and I see that I'm hesitant that humans at all can be replaced in the near future with AI. So okay. I think this is just sort of saving some time, but it doesn't entirely reduce the need for the end-to-end. Yeah, as has been mentioned before, you use the AI for the right things to save some time, but you need the experts still to confirm that what has been done is correct.
Okay, thank you. Any more questions for anybody? Okay.
Yep. You over there?
There was one at the back.
Oh, I'm sorry. Should put my glasses on.
Not offended yet. No, thank you for the talk. It's not just Cloud Atlas, GPT Atlas. You can use Perplexity as well on Windows to do it, and I've been playing around a lot. I think the only way I've found so far to try and capture them is key logging, because typically the bot will just paste in the text straight away, and unless someone's using text to speech, then they're probably not going to be pasted in full blocks of text. So maybe that's an initial way we can use to find these agents in surveys.
Yeah, that's a great idea. When registering when using the bot to register for the conference, there was a key pasting block in the registry form to this conference. So it actually struggled quite a lot, but then it sort of manually put in each key. So yeah, but probably that's a great idea. Thank you for the input. Yeah.
Thank you. Could AI itself be used to detect AI?
I mean, I did mention that. I mean, there's several tools online that you can use to detect if the text we're looking at has been generated by AI. But in this case, it's so easy to adapt the prompt to become un-AI-ish. So I think, I've seen tools that sort of analyze survey data to see, was this generated by AI? And obviously, if you're not careful with the prompt, but I think a clever survey fraud person can easily get around that. So I think this is a difficulty for the industry. If you're using panels, then I think this will be quite common in the future and something to look for. But then again, if you have a good prompt with a sort of nice persona, then it's not destroying the data. It's generating synthetic data that everybody loves here in the room.
So the theme of the question came up a little bit earlier in a couple of presentations, and obviously you're over from Sweden. You're showing us an English example to help us understand it. You've used this in Swedish, and you're getting the same results, or are you finding differences between Swedish and English?
Yeah, my experience with AI is that the larger the language itself, the more content there is, the better the AI. So AI will be best in English, but us Swedes, we love technology. So it seems we produce a lot of content in Swedish, so ChatGPT is really good in Swedish as well. We have Estonian programmers, and he says that ChatGPT is way worse in Estonian because they're not very interested in technology, probably.
Time for one more, maybe? Okay. That's great. Thank you very much, Denmark.